Smoky eye sociopath J.D. Vance attended a World Cup meeting and had some words for potential tourists that would like to come to America to watch a little soccer, or as they say abroad, football. Let's play the clip.
And I will say, before I turn it over to the next speaker, that of course everybody is welcome to come and see this incredible event. I know we'll have visitors probably from close to 100 countries. We want them to come, we want them to celebrate, we want them to watch the game, but when the time is up, they'll have to go home. Otherwise, they'll have to talk to Secretary No, who I'll turn it over to now.
Boy, that's a real knee slapper. I mean, they're ripping people off the street without due process, and he says that. Is he that idiotic?
He's just a dick.
He's
a total dick. I mean, you know, it's not that he's stupid. He's smart, and he's intentionally playing this mean, tough guy thing. And he's just a total dick. And that everybody thinks that's so funny.
Right.
And it's so void of reality that where you see this multi-billion-dollar industry of foreign tourists that come to the United States to explore the Grand Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, et cetera, is fallen off a cliff. And when asked Trump about it, he just says, no, tourism is high. It's not. This is so brand damaging.
Yes.
This is so damaging to the American brand. And he says that like he's just this big, bad, tough guy while he's wearing a smoky eye.
Right. I'm so tough with my smoky eye, and I'm really a comedian at heart.
Sitting next to a guy who's in like full-blown self-tanner, bad orange makeup. It's like if this was Saturday Night Live, you would think even that's a little far-fetched, like what you see them do. J.D. Vance's brand is so toxic, you guys. So, you know, he visited the Pope. You know what happened a few hours later. And then he endorses his brother for Cincinnati mayor. Put up the tweet. He says, "Hey, Cincinnati, my brother, Corey Bowman, is running for mayor and is on the ballot today for the primary. He's a good guy with a heart of serving his community. Get out there and vote for him." This is from J.D. Vance's, verified multi-million follower Twitter account. Put up the results of the race. Oh my God, Corey only got 12% of the vote and the Democratic challenger got 83%. And this reminds me of another MAGA powerhouse, Elon Musk.
Yep.
And the millions of dollars that he spent in Wisconsin. And what these people are finding out is that Trump is the one that has the grasp on the personality cult. And the cult isn't very persuaded by the people that Trump surrounds himself with.
Well, the thing about Trump, for whatever reason they say he's charismatic, the thing in my mind that got him over the hump with the American people was The Apprentice. He was on TV. They thought he was a successful businessman. And he does have what they say is a charismatic personality. Elon Musk and J.D. Vance have no riz. Zero. None.
They just absolutely have none. And to think that J.D. Vance, he's trying to position himself as the heir apparent. And I think it's going to be a faceplant worse than DeSantis is. Remember when everybody's like, oh, DeSantis is our new guy. And Fox News went all chips in after January 6th. They're like, Kitten Hills, that's our guy. And it was faceplant city. J.D. Vance and the smoky eye faceplant is imminent. Tick tock. We are on the clock waiting for it. And then this is just something I want to remind you of. Trump surrounds himself with people who tweet stuff like this. Elon Musk tweeted in 2024, "There are certainly other factors at play, but heavy use of C-sections allows for a larger brain, as brain size has historically been limited by birth canal diameter." And so, he wants to dismantle the federal government, but he also has this side job where he beats off into cups, and there is some evidence, and people pointed to that it's not 14 children, that he has more than probably 100 right now. And some reports have even indicated that he wants to expand to as many as 5,000 children. And so this is just where I have issue with this, is the MAGA movement does all of this. Men need to be the leader of the family, and you need to be good dads. And honestly, everybody supports that. Right. Everybody wants children to have both parents when they can and when it's possible and when it's healthy. But Elon Musk is the biggest deadbeat dad on the planet. And then he cosplays being a scientist and a planetary scientist and a doomsday scientist while he's on Twitter. I mean, this guy is just as weird as shit. And it's, again, Trump and Musk do this stuff with impunity from the right wing because they're white and they're rich. And that's the biggest con perpetrated on the American public. If there's a rich white man, he's smart and he deserves our respect.
Right. And Elon Musk has proven himself to not only be a anti-Semite, a racist, he is a bad businessman, just like Trump is a bad businessman. These men are not good with business. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, multiple kids, multiple wives, multiple baby moms. The whole thing goes so far against the Republican family values, Christian nationalist movement. I'm floored the excuses they make for these men.
Okay. Listen, do not leave us. You have to support our show by supporting our sponsors. We have some hot tea we're dropping right after this ad, but it's important that you get your mother or the mothers in your life a fabulous Mother's Day gift. It's Sunday, as everybody knows, but you have time to get onto Aura and buy your loved one and family member it's a picture frame that you can load from your phone, photo albums, and then it flashes. And Pumps has one. Pumps got one for her mom. Tell our viewer how great the Aura frame is.
I absolutely love this because it's user friendly. And what's so great about it is even when we were on vacation, we could send the pictures that we like to our frames at home. And my mom was looking at the pictures we were taking in real time on vacation. It's a really unique and outstanding gift.
Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver mat frame. That's AURA frames.com, promo code IHIP. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, now back to the piping hot tea at hand, these weird MAGA men. And I could just do episode after episode on the psychological breakdown of one Miss Pris Jessie Waters.
Yeah.
And Miss Pris Jessie Waters spends an inordinate amount of time talking about what men should and shouldn't do, how men should and shouldn't eat, how men should and shouldn't sit, stand, etc. So much time into it that it makes me think, boy, he sure does think about men quite a lot.
So Freudian.
Okay, so let's play the first clip of Miss Pris.
What do you notice? Doug's breaking the rules. He's leaning in, like Barack leans into Michelle. Men should never lean. Green lines don't lie. And if you don't know, look it up.
Okay, so the fact that he's taking that much time in the lean in, but everybody's seen the memes online that Trump stands like this, which they say is some sort of like phase
Frontal
of
lobe dementia.
But he's like the biggest leaner on the planet. And then here's another clip of Miss Pris Waters talking about the habits of men, again, consumed with men, thinks about men all the time. Play the clip.
Men should never cross their legs. What's worse, crossing your legs or leaning in? Text me.
What is going on with him? I mean, obviously he has a real insecurity about his masculinity. I mean, that's my vote. Or maybe it's red meat for the base, but I think he has to believe it.
No, I mean, he spends entirely too much time talking about this. You and I saw him in person at the DNC.
Right.
I got a slight gaydar ping. I mean, he was prissy. He was, he talks about all this stuff. It's clear he dyes his hair.
Right.
It's clear he dyes his eyebrows. I don't care about that stuff. But the episode after episode of detail that he goes into the way men should use their lips, the way they should eat, the way they should or shouldn't use straws, the way they should sit, lean in, all of this detail. I have a shit ton of gay friends. My best friends are gay men. They don't think about these habits of men as much as Jessie Waters does. I'm not saying he's gay. I'm saying he thinks about the habits of people of the same gender that he is more than most gay men that I know.
Absolutely. And don't forget, he's like got a sachet when he walks. He definitely has a little sachet.
Oh, he totally did. I remember him walking down that Media Row thing, and I was like, who is this Pris? And again, here's the thing. I'm the biggest ally of the LGBTQ plus movement on the planet. What I don't like is people that are probably like maybe he's bi-curious, or maybe he's a little bit gay, and they use that to demean. They keep it inside them, and then they project their own self-loathing onto a community where people have had to find bravery and authenticity against very fierce headwinds to come out and be who they're supposed to be. All right, lastly, I want to leave you with Demon Queen Scott Bessent, who enjoys the freedoms that many, many gay men fought before him, the civil rights of being gay married and able to have children. And then he aligns with a very anti-gay movement. And I don't know, but I'm starting to see that I think that MAGA opposes capitalism. So let's hear what Demon Queen has to say about that.
The other thing, too, is this reporter behind me was quite snarky the other day when President Trump talked about the girl having two dolls. And he said, well, what? President didn't take the question, but he said, what would you tell that girl? And I said, I would tell that young girl that you will have a better life than your parents, that you and your family, thanks to President Trump, can now be confident again that you will have a better life than your parents, which working class Americans had abandoned that idea. Your family will own a home. You will be able to advance. You will have a good education. You will have economic freedom. That's what we are advancing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just total propaganda, and divorce from reality. But this idea that you can't buy as much as you want to is really the antithesis of what the Republican messaging regarding capitalism has been for decades. And you're starting to hear it from the president, from the vice president, from Demon Queen Scott Bessent. You're hearing it from Fox News. You're hearing a very anti-capitalist message. And I'm not really hearing people calling that out, because that's really a 180 from what we've heard from them forever.
Right. They're free markets, no regulation, but yet Trump wants to get into the film industry. He wants to tell you how many dolls you can buy. What also enrages me about that is he's like, you're going to have a better education. No, you're not. You're dismantling the Department of Education. You're going to be able to own a home. You're not giving any concessions for housing. Like, they have no plan. All they have is lies and propaganda, and it's infuriating.
It is. And I think that Rupert Murdoch has done one of the biggest disservices to democracies worldwide. And when the autopsy is written, when they talk about the radicalization of that 75 million people in the United States, which will haunt us for decades, that we have a percentage of the electorate that is so radicalized, the inception of that will be Rupert Murdoch and Fox News, and how people like to go there that are intellectually lazy and feast on hate and otherizing and marginalizing people, and how much they enjoy that, the cruelty, the point of being so cruel to people, because Fox News doesn't stand for anything except for beating people down and bullshit. It's the bullshit beatdown channel. Okay, we're trying to get to 1 million subs. Subscribe, like our videos, engage. Also with other left-leaning podcasters, we have got to build a big echo chamber to combat all of this propaganda. So not only support us, support other partners on YouTube, and we'll see you all later.